In this video, we're going to focus on the planetary model of atom. This is the lesson under the third lesson in grade 10 science, which is the structure of matter. So, under the planetary model of atom, we're going to learn about the structure of the atom. So, how the atom is made up of, what are the things inside the atom. The planetary model first found by the scientist Ernest Rutherford. Ernest Rutherford found basic things in the planetary model, which are, he found that the atom is made up of three types of small particles. That means inside the atom there are three particles in it. So what are those particles? He found there are positively charged particles, negatively charged particles, and neutral, which means the particles are not charged. So these three types of particles are inside the atom. So he called these positively charged particles as protons, negatively charged particles as electrons, and neutral particles as neutrons. So, how these three particles arrange inside the atom? He found that inside the atom there is a small area, and this area is positively charged one. And in this area, the small area, the positively charged protons and neutral neutrons are gathered. So we can see protons and neutrons inside this small area in the middle of the atom. We call this small area as the nucleus of the atom. So this is the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, protons and neutrons are there. And then, where is this negatively charged electrons? Ernest Rutherford said that the electrons are rotating at a very high speed around the nucleus. So they are in a path where they are rotating in a direction around this nucleus. So this is like the planets rotating around the sun. So that is why we call this as planetary model. And these electrons are rotating at very high speed because we know that nucleus is consist with positively charged protons and neutral neutrons. So the charge of the nucleus is positive and the charge of electrons are negative. So we know anywhere where we can find positives and negatives, these two will attract together. So these electrons, if they lie like this in the path without rotating around the nucleus, these negative charges can attract it towards the nucleus. So to minimize that, these electrons are rotating at very high speed around the nucleus. The another thing you have to consider in this first part is, now here electrons are negatively charged. Protons and neutrons are having in the nucleus overall positively charged. So in the atom there are positively charged particles and negatively charged particles. But the atom is overall neutral thing. How this happen? So we take positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons. If we have one proton, we should have one electron. So here 1 plus with minus 1 will get 0 charge. And if we take here 2 protons and 2, if the atom is having 2 protons, there should be 2 electrons to have this 0 here. So to having a neutral atom in the this planetary model, in the atom the number of protons should be equal to the number of electrons in every atom. So atom is so called a neutral particle. Now this is the planetary model of Ernest Rutherford. After the Ernest Rutherford, the planetary model was modified by Niels Bohr. Now he said that these electrons are not moving around the nucleus like this. He said that these electrons are rotating around the nucleus in 4 energy levels. 1, 2, 3, and we say this is 4. So these green color circles are called energy levels, because when we move from the nucleus towards outside, the energy is increasing. So this one is having lower energy and this one is having higher energy. Now the electrons are moving in the particular pathway. Some electrons are moving in this pathway only, other electrons are moving this pathway. Likewise, electrons are moving only in these pathways. So electron in this pathway cannot move to this pathway because the energy levels are different. If this electron moves to this pathway, it needs to have more energy. That is in the higher levels of your chemistry. So up to now you have to know the electrons are moving in 4 particular pathways around the nucleus. So these pathways are given a name. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the nucleus to outside, these pathways are called, the energy levels are called 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can give the name K, L, M and N. So this K, L, M, N are energy levels, or we can call them as shells. So in these energy levels, there is a particular number of electrons which these energy levels can hold. So if we take K, in K energy level, this one, the K shell, there are only 2 electrons. The maximum number of electrons in K shell can hold is, here is 2. Here in L, maximum 8 electrons can hold. In M, 18 and N, 32. So this is very important. In MCQs, they can ask how many maximum electrons you can the K energy level can hold, or M energy level can hold. So it is 18. And a little thing I have to add here is, now you are in the school, you are going to learn the electronic configuration as 2, 8, 8, 8. Here in K, 2, L8, M8, N8. But this is not the maximum number of electrons. This is because you are going to learn only 20 elements in the periodic table. So in higher levels, you are not going to do this kind of electronic configuration. You are going to 2, 8, 18, 32. But up to this O-level knowledge, you are going to go for 2, 8, 8, 8. So if they ask in the MCQ how many maximum electrons can M energy level hold, it should be 18, not 8. So this is only for electronic configuration, not for the maximum number of electrons. So try to memorize that. And here, now this is what Niels Bohr added to the planetary model. So when you are going to write a short note on planetary model of atom, this every part should be there. There should be in the atom, there are 3 types of particles. Positively charged particles are called protons, negatively charged particles which are called electrons, and neutral particles which are neutrons. And in the atom, the small area in the middle is called nucleus. In the nucleus, positively charged protons, neutral charged neutrons are there inside the nucleus. And electrons are rotating at high speed around the nucleus to minimize coming attracted towards the nucleus. And there are 4 energy levels in the electron movements, which are called from the nucleus to outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, or KLMN, and these are called energy levels. In these energy levels, from the nucleus to outside, the energy is increasing, and the maximum number of electrons in one shell is like K is 2, L is 8, M is 18, N is 32. So this is what you have to write in the planetary model of atom.